What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to the Track from Scratch series. In part 2, I'm going to show you how to easily layer and build your glitchy percussion, and it will sound a bit like this. So, let's get stuck into Ableton. Okay, so we're inside Ableton, and in today's session, we're going to focus on adding some more glitch elements to our track. We've really got a nice groove on the go with this textural percussion, which sounds a bit like this. So I think now we just need to think about expanding, getting some variation in there, and just adding a bit more detail to the groove. So what we're going to start with is these slice loops we've got up here, which we found in the first episode. So these consist of different glitch hits all sliced up to MIDI. I really like slicing stuff to MIDI because it saves a lot of time because you don't have to craft the sounds by hand or pick them from one-shot packs. You can find a loop that you like, drag and drop it on there, and then you'll have multiple sounds to start building off of in one layer. I like that, nice and repetitive. I think it's got a good bit of groove to it. And then I'm going to go down to this one and we can do something similar. So there's not really many sounds I like in that one, which is completely fine. We can just move along and start finding some others. So I really like these glitch grooves from Create Audio. They're not necessarily drag and drop samples. You have to slice them, but you know, that's what I like about them. They encourage creativity. Very subtle, but that helps a little bit with the groove. I'm now going to try my own pack. So Serotonin Sounds Volume 2. Glitch fills, I think they will work nicely. Just do that. Let's try that one as well. It's quite subtle. And I'm going to go vice versa on this one, so we kind of get a bit of call and response between those. So that was nice, helping fill out a bit of that higher frequency now. I'm just trying now to look for some brighter, more substantial glitch hits that I can use less frequently throughout the track, you know, on like 4, 8 bars, 16 bars, just to help them cut through the mix, really. There's little things in there that I like. So now I'm going to swap from the MIDI slicing technique to just slicing out audio. Try something like this. Some nice bits in there, so insert an audio, cut it out. Just that first bit. I'm just going to put it there once every 8 bars. No need to complicate it. I know that many of the people that I work with, and to be honest, myself included, have a tendency to fill out loops very quickly and very easily, you know, not thinking about the bigger picture. And it's why I quite enjoy working now in the arrangement view, because it helps me get out of those small picture loops and start thinking about the track as, you know, a track, not just a loop. So I'm going to find a couple more glitch sounds, and then I think we'll have a stab at making some ourselves. Awesome. So now we can take a listen to everything we've just made with just a few simple techniques, just adding a bit more to the groove and helping with some variation with these glitch elements. Really nice, and it works well with that textural percussive groove we made in the last episode. So the reason why I haven't added many effects to these slices or this glitch section that we've been working on, because now we're going to resample it and we're going to add different effects to it, have fun, experiment, and see what else we can make just to get a bit more interest in the track. So for this, because we're working with a group now, we're going to need to set up a resampling channel. Command B for bounce doesn't work for groups, unfortunately. And then what we're just going to need to do is go and grab some kind of effect plugin. So I'm going to grab Ableton's shifter to start with. So all I was doing there was just hitting the resample and the record button and then just messing around. There was no methodical, well thought out behavior of what I was doing. I was just playing with that plugin. Really cool stock Ableton one though with the shifter. And now we're going to try and fit these little snippets we've got into the groove, see where we can put them. So now that's stretched a bit more in time. You could always maybe play around with this, maybe change it to textures. See what that sounds like. Maybe even play with the pitch. And then you could cut up the cut up sample, right? So we could maybe shift and R that. So it goes pretty wild here. So I'm going to go Command A, Command U, quantize it. And then I'm going to use the preserve transients on 16th to just tighten it up. And I feel like we can make something out of that and then do a similar thing with this one. Command A, Command U, preserve transient 16th. And then let's put this one Shift and R. It's quite cool. 18 down. So I'm liking the sound of that. I'm not going to do any more resampling. We've got a lot of layers in here as it is. But for yourself at home, experiment around with different resampling plugins. So we tried Shifter. You could try the Sound Toys Effect Rack. You could try stock Ableton's Effect Rack and try the different presets in there. They've got loads of really cool effects. Really doesn't have to be overcomplicated with all this glitchy stuff. I think a lot of people, myself included, when starting out, thought it was very, very complicated to do all of this. And, you know, in a matter of 15, 20 minutes, we've got something that sounds like this. Which in my opinion sounds great. So let's just tidy this up and add a bit of processing to a few things. So just tidying it up with an EQ and a sidechain, giving it a high shelf because I really want these glitches to be quite bright. And we're going to go down to our textural ones, the ones that we made in the last episode. And what I'm going to do for these are the opposite. So I'm going to roll off the lows. And then with the highs, I'm actually just going to bring them down. So that's just creating a bit of space and balance for both of these to play at the same time. So now a couple of these were the ones that have a bit more space in between the notes we could add some effects to. So I'm going to go grab a echo for this one over here. And I'm going to just leave the settings like that. And I'm going to go into the mod and I'm going to bring that up quite a lot. This one here, I'm going to go and grab raw. And then down here, I'm going to go noise injector. I'm going to go amount. So what I am going to do, just so it's not constant, is I'm going to draw the automation in here. And I'm not deep in this. As you can see, I'm just changing the automation lines where they begin and end kind of every single time. Then I'll Command B, bounce that in place, and then we'll delete that channel. Got this one down here, which I think is nice, but I reckon a bit of erosion. And that hybrid reverb that I've been using throughout this one. That's just going to help that cut through the mix then. Doesn't sound too pleasant by itself, but in the mix. This one's cool, but it's a bit too bright for my liking. So I'm going to grab Redux and desample it. Maybe on this one we put a tiny amount of delay. Could even try it on like a tape delay effect. That's cool. So now we've had a look at slicing, cutting audio, resampling. We can look at one more simple technique, which is one-shots. So the way I like using one-shots for glitch is just having a pre-made drum rack. So I recommend doing this separate in a session, just finding a bunch of glitch hits, putting them in a drum rack, and you'll end up with something like this, which is awesome. And we're just going to play a few in. So I'm going to duplicate this now, and then maybe we can look to swap it around with a few different bits. And again, this is a technique that you could rinse and repeat. You could go and get another drum rack, fill it with a bunch of different glitch sounds, add layers that way. The techniques I'm showing you are not necessarily things that you have to do every single time. You could do a load of just the first one, so slicing MIDI, or a load of just cutting audio. It's all about finding the technique that works best for you and the style that you want to make. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed that episode of the track from scratch. In the next one, we're going to start building out the drums and really filling out the groove. So I'll catch you in that one.